You're not even my real dad, my stepson sneered, as he and my wife spent my money on her ex. They treated me like a doormat, mocked me at family dinners, and kicked me out of my own home. I just laughed. 72 hours later, they all regretted their words. Whoa, you're not even my real dad. Those words still echo in my head, but not for the reason Jimmy probably expected. Let me back up and explain how I ended up laughing while my wife and stepson stared at me in shock last night. I've been married to Alice for 3 years. When we first got together, things were great. Jimmy was 14 then, and while he wasn't exactly thrilled about having a stepdad, he was civil. I tried my best to be there for him without pushing too hard. I helped with homework when asked, showed up to his games, and tried to give him space when he needed it. The first red flag I missed was how Jimmy and his dad James kept having these secret phone calls. I'd catch Jimmy whispering in his room or quickly ending calls when I walked by. I brushed it off as normal teen stuff. The second flag was how Alice started insisting on handling all our finances herself about 6 months ago. You're so busy. Let me take care of it, she'd say. Like an idiot, I agreed. Things really started going downhill about 2 months ago. Jimmy became increasingly hostile. Not just normal teenage attitude. We're talking straight up disrespect. He'd make snide comments about my clothes, my car, even the way I ate. Alice would just laugh it off, saying, "Oh, he's just being a teenager." But the look they'd share afterward? I should have seen it. I started paying more attention. I noticed large withdrawals from our joint account, always when I was busy at work. Alice had explanations for everything. Car repairs, school fees, family emergencies, but the numbers weren't adding up. Last night was supposed to be a normal family dinner. I noticed Jimmy smirking at his phone throughout the meal. Alice kept giving him these little nods. Finally, Jimmy put his phone down and looked straight at me. "We need to talk," he said, trying to sound tough. "Mom's not happy, I'm not happy, and you need to leave." I put down my fork. "Excuse me." Alice jumped in. "He's right, Gary. This isn't working. We want you out by the end of the week." I stayed quiet, waiting. They had more to say, I could tell. "You've been controlling and manipulative," Alice continued, gaining confidence from my silence. "Jimmy deserves better. I deserve better." "Yeah," Jimmy sneered. "You're not even my real dad. You can't tell me what to do anymore. Dad says..." "James says what?" I interrupted, finally understanding. "What exactly has your dad been saying?" They both started talking at once, about how James was going to move back in, how they'd been planning this for months, how they'd use my money to help James set up his new business. They thought they had it all figured out. I started laughing. Not a happy laugh, the kind that makes people nervous. Both of them stopped talking. "Let me make something very clear," I said, pulling out my phone. "This is my house. The deed is in my name. Those joint accounts you've been draining? That's barely a fraction of what I have. And James's new business? Check the ownership papers carefully." I stood up, dialing a number. "You have until tomorrow at noon to pack your bags. Security will be here in 20 minutes to change all the locks and codes.